All right, so hey everyone, my name is Tomer Dean. I'm one of the co-founders of Mindshare AI, and we're the company behind the tool MI on AI, which I assume most of you are currently trialing, which is why you're here. So this session is designed to give you guys a lot of value in a very short amount of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss AI search and how you can get more visibility from ChatGPT. And we're going to be doing this by analyzing a real company together live and kind of do like a teardown of what they can do to improve. And this will also show you the product, which you should be in the middle of a trial. And I really want you guys to learn from this process because this is the same process you can apply on your own business. So I will show you what I would do if I was their CMO. I wanted to get more customers from ChatGPT. And if you stay to the end, then I have a little gift for you. All right, that's my bribe. Great. So the session you'll learn the tool, you'll learn how AI and ChatGPT visibility works, how does the engines make decisions, and how you can influence them. So it talks about your company more. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'll pause every few moments and answer them before moving on to the next topic. All right, so I'm going to kind of dive right into it. All right, so you can see here this is the business I'm going to analyze today. So crypto tax audit. This is an accountant in the US. So I've already analyzed this before, but we're going to see what we can understand from this business in our tool. And then we'll decide on what actions they can take. So we see here, there's what they do. Some logos, a lot of reviews, interesting, on Trustpilot. A few more call to actions, testimonials. All right, pretty basic stuff. Now let's look at what we can do. So we're gonna go into our product and check out what we can see here. So I can already see here that this client has some visibility. It's not that bad, 13. I've seen worse, but not doing so well. You can see in terms of their competitors, they are in the top 10. They're number 7. And this is actually a really good, optimistic overview because it shows that what they're doing does work. We just need to do a bit more of it. But they generally are appearing. And this company should be getting leads from ChatGPT already. Okay, so I'll quickly kind of touch on the topics of the product, but our goal again is to help them improve. So we can see here all the prompts that we're analyzing in the background. So if we open it, we can see this prompt, for example, mention them. You can see here in green. So you can see looking for audit defense services specializing in digital assets. Audit defense. And that was what was it called? So we can see that our client is mentioned here. We can also see the sources. So this is essentially how ChatGPT determines who to mention. You can see all the links that it used to make its decision. And some of these might be the websites of the agency, or it can be something in social media or a publisher. And this will help us in just a moment to see how we can improve. Okay, so we're seeing that they are appearing in some of them, and we want to get more. So we're going to go to the sources and see here how does ChatGPT view determine which website to use. So everything you see here is kind of a macro view on this part. So we kind of took all of the citations of all of these prompts and organized it here. So a few things that I can already see. I can see in terms of social media, which again, social media is very, very important. That's how how AI many times determine who it to recommend. It actually looked at Reddit posts. So we can see here in terms of social media, Reddit is almost the only one it looks at. It looks a bit at Yelp, but mostly Reddit. This 24% means that Reddit is a source in 24% of the prompts that we analyzed, but it is going slightly down in the last 30 days. Okay. So we can start, that's already something I would definitely get engaged with. So I would start generating, I would start going to Reddit, this, and commenting on these posts. So here we can see a post looking for recommendation for crypto tax offer that's works. So even though I'm not sure this company is a tracker, but they can definitely get some visibility here. This is a good one I know for them. This is a letter that people get when they're in trouble with the IRS. So this company definitely wants to be a solution when someone gets this letter. So I would definitely have their team comment here with the brand name and some kind of mention. Obviously, they should do it kind of in the right way that Reddit accepts in Reddit language. But that's something I would definitely do. I would post the top 5 and then repeat this every week. Okay. Yeah, I can see here on the well, I'll show you this part in a second. So that's one thing I would already do, Reddit. I would focus my social media efforts on Reddit. Let's see what else we have here. So I'm looking here for different sources essentially that we can maybe sponsor or find our way on. So Wikipedia is an interesting one. There are definitely companies that should get a lot of that Wikipedia page would have a huge impact. I wouldn't recommend it here because it's below 5%. It's below 5%. That's usually not worth it for such a big effort. I'm looking for some other ones. What's this one? Let's check this one out. Parents. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for publishers that have that appear on this list, meaning ChatGPT uses them. Oh, Barron's Wall Street Journal. Okay, well we can advertise on. Okay, I was actually looking for like smaller publishers that might not charge so much money, but they are big. But a lot of these seem also big, like this one, Coin Bureau. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can advertise or work with them. Deals. Let's see what's going on here. The best is if we can find like a small website that doesn't charge a lot of money, but has a lot of influence. Okay, work with that. So I would definitely reach out to them, see if they have some kind of offer where they can write, we can publish something on our behalf, like a sponsored post. So that's something I would check. Let's see what else. Unbiased. Manage your perfect advisor. No, this looks like a competitor. Let's take it off. 99 Bitcoin. Let's check it out. This is actually a really tough client. I'll explain why this is a tough one. There's a good chance that your business will actually be easier. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here you can reach out. Yeah, a guest post would be great. Because again, the logic is if this website is appearing and they mention us, then that mention would appear and we'll kind of get into the system. The reason why this is a tough client is that it seems like the main sources here, except Reddit, are actually competitors of theirs. Competitors is a problem because you can't actually advertise or partner with your competitor. Yeah. So this is a bit problematic. Usually you will see much higher rankings in social media and publishers, which kind of gives us more information. So in this case, since there aren't like, I don't see any quick wins beyond a few, I would start going with one of these. Let's see. These are probably a bit bigger. All right, so this one actually is even a competitor. So this is actually, it should be in businesses. Let's say Investopedia. Yeah, this is a pretty big one, but I would also check out advertising options for them. In some cases, this is kind of similar to Google. If you want the big influence, you'll have to pay a bit. You can do it for a very small budget. But yeah, this is a great source. So I would definitely, again, summarize. I would contact Investopedia, contact this smaller one, maybe those from Nerd Wallet. I would start replying on Reddit and monitor to see if any of these other platforms are becoming a bit bigger. Okay, obviously I can see here other IRS. I don't think we can sponsor IRS. Let's see what this website is. The competitor. Slimes list. So yeah, those are the main actions, and this is kind of what this is what reverse engineering means. So we're viewing what does ChatGPT rely on, how does it make decisions, and let's get our brand mentioned. Now, we can already see something kind of interesting here. So if we go here, we can see these are the main pages which are influencing ChatGPT. We can see if our client is mentioned on any of them. So our client is already mentioned on these pages. Some of them are actually their website, but you can see they appear on IRS Medic. This shows us that whatever this is, I'm not sure how they got mentioned on this website, but this is actually a very, very important citation. They should keep on doing this. So it's also important to know what to keep on doing. Yeah, this looks like a small publisher or a partnership they're doing with another company. Forensics. Okay, so this is really important to see. Also see here, they're getting citations from Financial Services Review. So if they can kind of crank the volume of this partnership and do more with this partner, I would definitely recommend it because it is working. Yeah, so seems to be a mention here. Let's see, let's confirm that. Oh, this whole page actually. This is a really good one. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, generally this website they're getting quite a bit of traffic just for 2 or 3 external links and just the website. So there's a lot of things they can still do. They're still not doing all of these things. They can get mentioned in these links. So that is the plan that I would take. Again, we also have a recommendation system, which essentially does everything I just did manually. It does automatically. So it suggests, all right, publish something on this topic, or reply to these Reddits that I talked about, and a few other things like that. All right, so let's see if we have any questions so far. Okay, I see a question here asking about the crawling. How do we get the data? How is the data compiled? So we have a very, very complex system we put a lot of emphasis on data integrity. So we don't use the official API of ChatGPT. We actually do a scraping method, which is very complex, and it is a pain in the ass, but it is important because it's important that the data we collect is actual data, the same data that your customers will be seeing on ChatGPT. And we switch the IP address, so it comes and originates from the same IP as your target audience. And in that way, we make sure that the data is valid, and because the insights of that data will be turned into action. And we definitely don't want to waste your time or our time working on the wrong thing. So that is how the scraping works. Okay, great. So we kind of showed the product a bit. We showed what kind of things we can see here. We can see the general score. Actually, let me show you a bit more, and then we'll finish up. So we can see that this client is at 13%. We can also see competitors. We can see some prompts here that we weren't mentioned and that we are mentioned. If we would lose prompts, meaning like we used to be mentioned and now we're not, you would also see those. You can see kind of a snippet on this, what I just showed you. And we can see the growth chart, either weekly or monthly. This is actually a client of ours that isn't doing too well. This is pretty rare, but this client is not going up. They're kind of static, even 2 points down, because they're not taking enough action. So it's important. The goal here is not just to track all of this data and all of this thing. If you're only going to passively track it, I would save your money. There's no point. Our goal and what our tool is best for is for teams that want to improve. They want to take action and improve their score. And that's why we have all these features. We also have a really cool feature where once you do these tasks, you can log them. For example, you can paste the blog post link and you can paste the Reddit link, and you'll be able to start monitoring to see if these actions actually had an impact or which one had the biggest impact. Once we have the URL, we can cross-reference this URL with the sources and see if it comes up. So if you just published a blog post and we see this blog post appear in the next week, in the next scan, then we can say, listen, this blog post, big impact. We can also see if it didn't have an impact. And then you can know what not to do next time. Okay? So that is how kind of the basics of the LLM works. When somebody searches on ChatGPT, there's the training data, there's the live internet data, and it essentially blends the two. So once you make a change, a post on Reddit, a blog post, a LinkedIn post, pretty much anything online, this is ChatGPT indexes this pretty quickly and uses it when making answers. So you can see results pretty quickly. I've seen sometimes in days or like a week or two. So much quicker than traditional SEO to see impact. But you definitely have to take action. If you don't take any action, very small chance your score is going to go up. Probably it will go down because competitors are doing things and you aren't, and they're biting out of your pie. So we talked a bit about how ChatGPT works. We did kind of a live breakdown of a brand and how they can get more traffic. Maybe some last things, and before I give you guys that freebie, many people ask me, what KPIs should I track? What are the top KPIs? So I recommend tracking two or three things, three ideally. One, you'll be able to track the number of users you get from your analytics program. So Google Analytics or Plausible or anything you might be using, you can see in the UTM source how many users came from ChatGPT. That's something you should be able to see today already. With that being said, it's not 100% accurate because there isn't always a UTM link, and not everyone actually clicks the link, but some people might write down your company name, and in a week later, when they're ready to buy, they might just search it in Google, and then you won't know they came from ChatGPT. So that's the first thing. It's not perfect, but I would still track this number. The second thing is you can check the visibility score within our product or a similar product. And this essentially tells you what percentage of prompts does my brand appear in. So this is kind of in a relative term, meaning because the number of users on ChatGPT is increasing every month, regardless of your brand, just the absolute numbers is going up. If you see the graph go up in the first metric you're tracking, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing a better job. It just might mean there's more users in the pie. So if you want to see how you're doing, then you need this kind of score to track over time to see if you're going down or not. And the last thing I would say, if you can, is ask customers that sign up with your product how they found you. This is the best. And just to show you what I mean, if I look at my analytics right now, I'll see that 2 or 3% of the traffic comes from ChatGPT directly. But if I ask customers how they found us, I'll show you guys. All right, so here you can see when people sign up, they actually have to answer where they came from. You can see ChatGPT has like 5%. So there's a lot more people coming from these channels than your analytics say. So I would say something like this, if you can ask users, will probably be the best metric. And then you want to see that you're getting more users. But again, this also takes into account that other channels might be growing faster or slower than ChatGPT. So it's a mix of, you want to track your Google, your analytics, direct users. You want to track your relative score, how you're doing within ChatGPT, and you want to see um, what you're missing in analytics by seeing kind of the undercounting, what actually people are coming from. And these three things together, ideally, will give you a great overview of what's going on. All right. So those are the suggestions. The free gift I want to give you, since many of you are currently at the end of your trial, is we're going to extend your trial for another 2 weeks for free. Because I really want you guys to enjoy and use this tool, even the free version, to get ahead, start taking action, because it's the easiest it's going to ever be to optimize yourself for ChatGPT. It's only going to get harder from now. So I would definitely don't wait on this. Start taking action today. Kind of like you should have bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, but this is the beginning, and whoever starts first gets a very big head start. So hopefully you can use the trial even before upgrading, just to kind of get some value today and take some action. And it's completely okay if you're not ready to do this on a full-time basis and you want to come back to it in a few months. You can just do another trial in the future. So you won't have like a hard sale from us at the moment. And that's it. So you're going to get an email in a few minutes after the webinar. If you want that 2-week extension, just reply to that email and we'll hook it up. All right. And if you guys want to have like a discussion one-on-one with me and kind of have me do an audit on your business, then you can also mention in the email, and maybe next week we can do it on yours. That is it. So thank you everyone for joining. Any last questions? I'll be here for a bit more. And if not, then we'll hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.